Hey guys, it's Ryan with AIinsidertips.com, and in this video, I'm going to be covering the release of Llama 3. Now, Llama 3 is a brand new AI language model that was created by Meta AI. Now, Meta is the company behind Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. So if you're unfamiliar, Llama 2 was their previous model before Llama 3, but the biggest hurdle with Llama 2 was that it was not easily accessible in a web browser. And with Llama 3, you can go to meta.ai and start using this language model using an easy interface on a web browser similar to like we see with these other LLMs, ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Claude 3. So I'd suggest sticking around towards the end of this video as I'm going to test a few prompts to see the quality of, Llama 3 just in real time here as I'm looking at it for the first time with you guys. So the first things first here, I'm on the press release of Llama 3, and I'll leave a link to this and everything else that I mentioned in the video description below. And right away, Meta says, today we're introducing Meta Llama 3, the next generation of our state-of-the-art open source large language model. And the important point to call out here is open source, as not very many popular LLMs or large language models are open source. ChatGPT, whether it's GPT-4, GPT 3.5, those are not open source. Claude 3 is not open source, and I believe Google Gemini is also not open source. So it's very revolutionary here that we're going to get I think a good language model in Llama 3 that is 100% open source. Now, they also go on to talk here too, where Llama 3 technology is now one of the world's leading AI assistants that can boost your intelligence and lighten your load, helping you learn, get things done, create content, and connect to make the most out of every moment. You can try Meta AI here, which is what this prompts do right here. So they talk about their goals a little bit, but I'm not going to go through that. You can read that yourself. One of the important things I want to call out before I dive in here are the benchmarks. You see these benchmarks on every press release or announcement for a new language model. We've seen it with Claude 3. We saw it with GPT-4, Grok, Google Gemini. They all like to compare their models against each other and see how they stack up. So as you'll see right here, Llama 3 is compared to Mistral, and it looks like Gemini Pro 1.5 and also Claude 3 Sonnet. So right away, I know that this probably doesn't compare with Claude 3 Opus or GPT-4, as they probably would have included that in the benchmark. So keep in mind, this is a free open source model. Claude 3 Opus and GPT-4 are paid closed source models. So I would expect those models to perform better than Llama 3, but right here, there's different, benchmarks, human eval, math. I'm not really sure what some of these other ones, MMLU, GPQA, I'm not sure what those mean. But according to Llama 3 and Meta AI on their blog post here, which again, this is their product, so always take that with a grain of salt here. It is outperforming Gemini Pro 1.5, which is Google's free version, and then Claude 3 Sonnet, which is Claude 3's free version. So whatever this means, it seems that Llama 3 is outperforming the other free versions. Now, I would be curious to see how it compares to GPT 3.5, and we can definitely run some tests here in future videos comparing Llama 3 to ChatGPT, but I'm just curious why they didn't include GPT 3.5. I'm just kind of confused by that. So then they go down here and talk about Meta Llama 3 Instruct Human Evaluation. So this is versus Claude 3 Sonnet. Oh, here's GPT 3.5 right here. So it's saying that it's beating GPT 3.5 on an instruct human evaluation. It beat it 63% of the time, apparently. And it's comparing it with its predecessor of Llama 2. Scroll down here. It looks like pre-trained model performance. So we have some more benchmarks where it's comparing it to the different models. But so on and so forth. A few more important things to call out here. They talk about the training data a little bit. So if you're going to read this article in depth, I would look at the training data. Obviously, it says right here, the creation of large, high quality training data set is paramount. Yes, it is for any large language model. As you guys need to understand, ChatGPT uses a different set of training data versus Google Gemini, versus Claude 3, versus Grok. That's why all these LLMs are so different in their responses in most cases. So it says here they performed extensive experiments by mixing data from different sources. These experiments enabled us to select a data mix that ensures Llama 3 performs well across use cases, including trivia, STEM, coding, historical knowledge, etc. Now, another important thing to call out here too is they talk about what's next for Llama 3. So it says the Llama 3 8B and 70B models mark the beginning of what we plan to release for Llama 3, and there's a lot more to come. So I'm curious to see how they're going to continually update Llama 3 as the AI arms race just got even stronger, in my opinion. We have Claude 3 was just kind of the most recent one here. We're still waiting on GPT-5, potentially GPT 4.5. Grok, Elon Musk has been talking about different language models with Grok. Google Gemini recently came out before Claude. And now all these other AI companies are going to have to step their game up as Llama 3 appears to be the next one in play. So then they just talk about trying Meta Llama 3, which is right here. So hopping back over to the chatbot interface, again, this is meta.ai as the URL, and I'll leave a link to that in the description so you can access this quickly. But this is what the chat interface looks like. Very similar to ChatGPT in my opinion. The first thing to call out is down on the bottom left, it says log in with Facebook. So they're prompting you to log in with your Facebook or Meta account, but you do not have to log into Facebook in order to use this. So I want to make that very clear. Now the benefit is if you do log in through Facebook, you can save your chat history. So similar to ChatGPT, if you have an account, you can save your chat history that way. On the top left, we have new conversation and we have Imagine. So if you're unfamiliar, Imagine actually was released about a year ago or sometime in 2023. And this is Meta's AI text to image generator. So I'm going to test this out here in a little bit. And I'm curious to see what we're going to get as a response, maybe compared to a DALL-E inside ChatGPT. But if you click new conversation, what I like here is it's getting Ask Meta AI Anything. So it's giving you these pre-configured prompts, and we see this similar in Gemini, ChatGPT. We see this in Claude 3, where it looks like these are just some popular prompts that I'm sure people are asking. So make my emails sound more professional, create a packing list, help me with an assignment, simulate a mock interview. Here's an image prompt, paint NYC in watercolor. So now what I'm going to do is first I'm just going to click one of these just to see what the output looks like. I'm going to let's do create a packing list for a trip. It says create a packing list for a trip. Start by asking me 3 simple questions. So I'm going to say, how long is my trip? 7 days. Let's do New York City. And I'm going to say business. And I'm going to say continue without login. This is what I just talked about earlier. Confirm your age. It's asking you to confirm your age. You can make this up or do whatever you want. Click finish. And so here now it's going to generate very quick response time. So that's cool to see right there. This reminds me of kind of GPT-4 Turbo or 3.5. That was a very, very quick output. But I do like this. It's saying essentials. So it's breaking it down by clothing, toiletries, electronics, documents, additional items to consider. So not bad. I mean, ChatGPT can do that. Gemini, Claude, all the language models can do something that simple. So now I'm going to come back to new conversation. I'm going to click clear chat and I'm going to pull up my, list of saved prompts that I've used in several other videos on my channel. One of the very first things that I want to test with this is recency. Now, ChatGPT struggles with recency, Claude 3 struggles with recency, Gemini excels in recency because it's pulling straight from Google search results. So I always like to test recency right away, and I'm going to ask it the following. What is the current price of Bitcoin? Just to see what it says. And the reason I'm asking it this is if it can't answer, it should give me details on when its last training data was settled. So is it 2022, 2023, etc. So right here it says the current price of Bitcoin is between 90.4625 and 92.7. Bitcoin cryptocurrency. That is completely wrong. I'm not sure where they're getting that, but it does link to Bing, which is really interesting. So it's saying 64,395 right here on Bing search results. But then in Meta, it's saying 90,000. I believe that's 90,000 or $90. I'm not sure. But if I click view sources, this is where it's also getting it from. CoinMarketCap, but it's all pulling it through Bing. So that's interesting to see that it's using Bing. And what I also notice right here is there's like a good response, bad response. You can copy this content to your clipboard. So similar to ChatGPT as well, just rating the responses. I'm going to give that a bad response, not accurate. It says, thanks for your feedback. So maybe that helps with other future recency prompts. But I'm going to come back and try something else. So we know that it's not good on recency. Let's do basic recall. I'm going to say, who was the president of the United States in 1980? And I'm going to pull back up Meta AI, click new conversation, clear chat. And then I'm going to paste that. And then let's see who it comes up with here. All right, so it says Jimmy Carter was the president of the United States in 1980, 39th president. I believe that is correct because it says defeated in the 1980 presidential election by Ronald Reagan. If you click this, they got their source from Bing. So that one was correct, but the recency of Bitcoin price was not, which I actually expected that. I didn't think Meta AI would know the answer to that. So now I want to test its creativity a little bit, and I'm going to ask it the following prompt. Write a poem about AI using exactly 50 words. And let's see what it comes up with here. So it says, artificial intelligence, a mind so bright, processes data with speed and great light. Learning, adapting with each new day, improving lives in every possible way. With algorithms and codes designed to thrive, a technological wonder alive. That's actually not bad in my opinion. So that's kind of cool. Now I'm going to come back here and ask it a basic problem solving prompt. Ryan has 10 books in his office. He read 5 of them. How many books are left in his office? And the answer here is 10 because when you read books, you don't actually take them from your office. So I'm actually going to see what it says right here. I'm going to copy and paste, and then we're going to see what it says. It says, easy math question. Ryan started with 10 books and read 5. So to find out how many are left, we subtract 5 from 10. So there are 5 books left in his office. That is incorrect. Again, just because I read 5 books doesn't mean I misplaced them from my office. So it did not get that correctly. So now I'm just going to test a basic coding question here, or a coding prompt. Now, I am not a backend developer. I'm not a coder. I understand the basics of HTML and CSS enough to know if something looks good or doesn't look good. And they did mention that Llama 3 was good in the coding capabilities on their benchmarks and just everything else in that introductory blog post. So I just want to see if it can generate code, and it can. So I just said, write a basic HTML code with inline CSS for a simple website. And just looking at this right away, it does look correct. So it can generate that basic code, which is cool to see. So another area I want to look at here is just short form content creation. Again, this is Meta AI, so I'm curious what it's going to do if I say, ask me for a Facebook post or ask me for an Instagram post. But here's the prompt that I'm going to ask it. I'm going to say, create 3 social media posts on the topic of AI and how it is changing the world. Use a maximum of 100 characters, make the posts engaging, unique, while ensuring they are easy to understand. So it says here, post 1, post 2, post 3. AI revolution. Discover how AI is transforming industries, revolutionizing the way we live and work. The future is here. AI-powered robots. Not terrible. Unblocking human potential. Uses hashtags at the end too. I don't know. I was expecting something a little more, I guess, a little more engaging than those. So not great in my opinion. So if I come back, one other one that I actually want to ask it is more of a censorship question. And I always like to kind of test the waters of these LLMs to see how far that they're willing to go, essentially. So if I click new conversation, clear chat, I'm going to say, how do I break into a car safely? And guys, this is a real world use case. Let's say you left your keys in the car and you're trying to get into it and get your keys out of the car that way. So it says right here, I cannot provide information or guidance on illegal or harmful activities, including car theft. Can I help you with something else? So right away, it's negating those kind of edgy or those gray area prompts, which I did expect. So now what I want to do is actually go towards the image generation. So I'm going to copy and paste something simple here. Create me an image of a dog playing in the park. So we're going to start simple here. I'm going to come back. Let's go to Imagine, click Clear Chat. And then I'm going to click create me an image of a dog playing in the park. And then it's going to take a little bit to generate the image. Oh, and it looks like right here, you have to log in to generate images. So I'm glad I just did that because I want to call that out now, is that you do have to log into your Facebook account in order to generate images using Meta AI or the Imagine functionality. So I'm going to go ahead and log into my account and then come back here quickly. All right, so I've logged into my personal Facebook account just so I can show you guys the image generation capabilities here. So I'm going to say, create me an image of a dog playing in the park. And here it already generated one. That was literally in a half a second, if that. So that was extremely quick with how it generated that. But let's wait a little bit here. And so here are the images. It created 4 images based on one prompt, which is kind of cool. DALL-E 3 inside ChatGPT can only create 1 image for a given prompt. Now, if you're using Copilot, it can generate 4 usually. But I'm going to take a look at these really quick, and not bad in my opinion. It does have a watermark here, so it looks like it has Imagine with Meta AI. So I don't know if this is for all images. But that's really interesting to call out, is that they're showing a watermark. So now I'm curious if I download it. So if I click this, it's not going to let me download it. There's a download option in the top right. So if I download this and click open, I'm curious to see what it's going to say. So yeah, right here, you can see a little watermark on the bottom left. DALL-E 3 does not have a visible watermark. Gemini, I don't think, has a visible watermark. Adobe Firefly. So most of these other AI text to image generators don't have watermarks. So that's really interesting to see. But anyways, the quality's not terrible. That does, somewhat look somewhat realistic, not fully realistic. So now what I'm going to do is ask it a more sophisticated image prompt. So I'm going to click the X option here. Let's click Imagine. I'm going to paste the prompt, and the prompt is the following: a travel poster of a grand piano overlooking a dusky cityscape of New York City from a top floor penthouse, rendered in the bold and vivid style of a vintage travel poster. So I'm going to click paste. Again, this is a lot more sophisticated than just a dog playing in the park. So I'm curious to see where Meta AI can go, as I actually pulled this from a result that I got from DALL-E 3. So I'm not sure if DALL-E 3 is better in terms of image capabilities or image generation capabilities yet. So right here it says, "Oops, I can't generate that image. Can I help you imagine something else?" So I'm not sure why that would be the case, but that right there just proved my point, is it looks like you can't get really sophisticated with this image generator. So I'm just going to say a travel poster of, let's say, a dusky cityscape of New York City from a top floor penthouse. Let's see what we can do there. And it says right here, so right away it's starting to generate the image. So a little less sophistication in that prompt than it did start to generate those images. So let's give it a few seconds here and see what it comes up with. And it says right here, "Oops, I can't generate that image. Can I help you imagine something else?" So it looks like it's 0 for 2 now on this, image generation prompt of a dusky cityscape in New York City. So now I'm going to ask it something even simpler. I'm going to say a city view of New York City. And let's see what it can do with that one. All right, and here's what Meta AI or Imagine came up with. That looks pretty realistic. I mean, nothing bad here. And if I click that, I don't believe that exists. I mean, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think they just added that in, but not terrible, I guess. We got images here. It looks like that's the Empire State Building. Same here. It looks somewhat realistic, but I'm kind of disappointed, honestly, guys, with how it couldn't answer that, those more sophisticated prompts above. So I would have to give the nod to basically all other AI text to image generators right now, maybe besides Google Gemini, but DALL-E 3 for sure is better. So is Adobe Firefly, so is Midjourney. So I'm kind of disappointed there. But that's it, guys. Just a quick video showing you Llama 3, which is the brand new AI model released by Meta AI. I would suggest testing this out and just seeing what you get versus ChatGPT, Claude 3, Google Gemini, etc., etc. So if you like this video, if you found some value, be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, dislike this video so I know what to create in the near future for you guys. Be sure to subscribe to my channel at AI Insider Tips for more AI videos just like this one. And guys, if you haven't already gotten my free guide on the best AI side hustles, you can find that in the video description below. I show you how I've made more than $5,000 a month in passive income online, and you can find that in the pinned comment or description below this video. So again, guys, this is Ryan with AI Insider Tips, and I hope you all have a great day.